Hello, beautiful souls, divine beings. Welcome in this lovely space with me. Whomever chose pile one, I have a message for you. And today's reading, it's an interesting one because I had planned to do another reading, um, connecting to the spirits of the trees, but I got so strong visions that I had to put the ones of the trees aside, and I have to go with this because it has to come out. I have no idea what will be the title. You will know it when you are watching this reading, but in this moment I have no idea where this is going. I just know that the visions are very strong and they need to be shared. So whomever chose pile one, the vision that comes through for you is you are walking you are underground and you are walking in a root system. And it's dark, but still you see where you are going. And at a certain point, you come up to the surface, and you are in a forest. And there is a little road that is a forest road that is running through the forest, and you don't see a lot, only trees. And you are just following that path. And at a certain point, the path leads to a small cabin. And you go inside the cabin, and the atmosphere inside the cabin is, at first you feel a little uncomfortable because there is someone in there. It's not a woman, it's not a man, but it's a being, and the energy is very, very high of this being. It's a very high frequency. And it's not, because I say it's not a man or a woman, but the being presents itself in a human body, although it looks kind of odd, but you are not uncomfortable with the appearance of, but you are a little uncomfortable with the frequency that is so high. There is such a difference because you are in the beginning, you are in this first underground, and then you are in the forest, and it's all it feels kind of dense and kind of dark. And then you go in there, and it's this the difference is so big from low frequency into high frequency. And you enter into the cabin, you are standing at the door, and you are looking at this being, and the being turns around because it has its back to you, and the being turns around. The eyes are uh, crystal clear blue, very light blue, and they look you straight into the eye, and the being doesn't say anything. It just points to the table. And you look at the table, and there is a big pot on the table. And you walk to the table, and you look inside the pot, and there is it's like water, but the same color as the eyes. So this crystal clear, very light blue. And in the reflection of that liquid that is there, you see a boat. A very old, not a boat, a ship. A very old ship. And when you look at the ship, you immediately understand where you have to go. So you leave the cabin, and you follow the path, and you end up at a small beach, an open spot out of the forest. And when you look into the ocean, you see that ship, and there is a little boat on the beach. So you take the boat, you flip it around because it's upside down. You flip it around, there are rows in there, so you row to the big ship. And you enter on the ship, and there is nobody on the ship. It feels like you are alone. And you feel pulled to walk to the right side, and there is there is a, how you call that? It's a hedge. I think it's a hedge, the thing you pull open. So there is a hedge, I think it's called. And you open it, and then there is a stairs down. So you open it and you go down, and there is this massive treasure. It's full of gold and gems. And you are looking at that, and it doesn't really move you in any way. And you are looking at it, at all this shiny gold and all the shiny gems. It's a massive treasure. It's like a pirate treasure. And there is this one little white thing that is catching your attention. And you see it, and you jump on the treasure, and you go to that little white thing, and you take it, and you realize it's a piece of paper. It's a piece of paper that is folded. And you open the piece of paper, and on the piece of paper it says, "You are the treasure that you are seeking for." You are the treasure that you are seeking for. There is a little arrow. It's a small paper. And there is a little arrow, so you flip around the paper, and it says, "Now go outside." And you go outside, not the same way, because the hedge is here, the stairway is here, or here. You are standing here, and there is an opening there. So you go, it's the stairs also, you go into that opening. And when you arrive on the deck of the boat, it's full of people. It's full of people that are welcoming you and all hugging you. And there the vision stops. So this is quite something. There is a lot in here. And I will read more into it, but what I get already here is there is probably in this moment you are walking in the dark. You have no idea where you are according to a certain situation, or in general in your life, your overall feeling or a specific situation. You are walking in the dark and you have no idea where you are going. But your road is the road is clear. Even though it's dark and dense, there is a pathway, and even when you are under the ground, it's like the roots get some sunlight in a sense, and you see where you need to go. So you don't know where you are going, but you see the road that you have to take. It's like step by step, and every step you take, the next step of the road unfolds itself. And then we have the cabin. So there is someone or a being that is on that path that you are now on. And it feels in the future. For most of you, it's in the future. For some, it's possible that already someone or a being, it's someone. It's someone, but they feel, because you have this, when you are in the cabin, there is this sense of it's a human being, but also you know it's not. So it's a human, but it's a very high frequency soul in a human body, a very high frequency being in a human body. And so for most of you, this is somewhere in the future. For some, this might have already happened, but someone will give you or has given you a certain clue, a certain way where to go, a certain arrow into a certain direction. And even with that arrow, even with that clue, you still have no idea where you are actually going to. But something inside of you knows that that is the road to follow. So some being on your path will play an important role in here. And that the information that that being gives you, or the arrow, they give you an arrow that way. They give you a clue. And that clue will bring you to a certain point where at first sight you still have no idea what you actually discovered. And then there is this big treasure that is there, but you are untouched by it. It doesn't mean anything for you. So it feels like this being is pointing you somewhere where you think you want to go. A certain human need, a certain human desire that you are seeking for. And the moment that you will find that desire, it will not touch you. Because in there, you will realize that what you have been seeking for has always been within you. But it's the whole path that will lead you to that point. And the moment that you realize that what you are seeking for is within you, is the moment that you will also meet others who will welcome you as family, as soulmates, as your soul tribe. But you will only meet them the moment that you realize that you are the treasure, that you are what you are seeking for, or that what you are seeking for is within you. So it's quite a journey, and it's a beautiful one. That's also interesting. Because what I feel now here is that in your whole journey there is no emotion, or there is no emotion that jumps out. It's only when the people are hugging you, it's like in that moment your heart melts. And there I see you smile also. And there I see your heart glowing. And before there is just this, there is very little emotion. Mm. So three main things that are jumping out here. One very high frequency being that is offering you clues. The biggest message is what you are seeking for is you. You are the treasure that you are seeking for. And once you realize that, you will meet your soul tribe, the people that you are seeking for. Let me see where this is going. What is this about? What is this about? It's about you, no? It's about you realizing yourself. It's about you realizing what you truly are. And this, it's a symbol of a soul search, this whole vision, right? But still, I have to pull some cards here. It's also very important for you to know that wherever you are now, how dark it may seem, just keep on moving and take one step at a time. It's not important for you to know where you are going because you will arrive at that point. It's just about taking one step, and when you take that step, the next step will be shown. But just keep on moving, keep on going. Hmm. You are birthing the lotus within yourself. And this treasure also, this is the realization of you are the lotus. You are this. The lotus, it's a very beautiful symbolism because they grow out of mud, and they try to find their way through the most muddy waters. And when they come up and when they bloom, there is no spot of dirt. It's one of the most brightest flowers, and they are pure and clean. But they grow through the mud before they open their flower. And it feels like this travel in the dark, this walk in the dark with clues. And then arriving at the point where you realize, I am the lotus. And the moment that you realize that you are the lotus is also the moment that your lotus can blossom, that it can bloom. It can only bloom the moment that you become conscious of yourself, that you become conscious of your truth, of the fact that you are the lotus flower. The pearl in the lotus flower, I hear. You are the pearl in the lotus flower. You are the treasure that you are the treasure that you are seeking for. I want to feel into, because what is this? Okay. Okay, I'm digging now into the fact, like, why, in what state are you? What are your emotions here? What are your feelings here? Because I don't get, it's like your feelings are cut off in this first part. And it feels like for some reason you you went into defense, but extreme defense. Extreme defense, almost. Um, there is a sense of pride also in here, but it's like, yeah, defense. Defense because of a certain failure, or out of fear to fail. But it's like, we have boundaries, there are healthy boundaries, but it feels here like there is unhealthy boundaries, in the sense of too much because of extreme hurt, but there is too much boundary. But I also feel it comes through just because it's maybe something you need to hear, to reflect upon, but it doesn't feel like it's a problem, because you're gonna find your treasure anyway. You're gonna find that treasure within yourself. But it's also, if you feel spoken to with this, just an invitation to lower your guard a little, and to allow yourself to feel. Just lower your defense a little and come back to beauty. This lotus flower is coming through also so strong. This is, mm, yeah, there might have been a strong hurt that made you go in extreme defense and made you block, made you close down in a sense. And it's just like I say, it doesn't matter so much, because you're gonna walk the path anyway. You're gonna walk step by step and find that treasure within yourself. But it might make the journey, hmm, it might make the journey more joyful, because when I feel into there, the vision, the sun shines through the trees. When I say, it might be helpful to lower your guard a little, to don't be so defensive. The world is not your enemy. And I understand if you've been hurt, if you um, I understand if you are hurt, that it's just an automatism that we do. We we defend, and we put these boundaries, but make sure that you don't shut yourself off from just allowing yourself to feel. Because again, there is this, if you open your heart just a little bit more, lower your defense just a little, then the sun pierces through, and you're still walking the same path, but it feels a lot more light. It feels a lot more bright. And this is your choice. This is your choice that you have. your free will to, again, the path stays the same, but your free will to choose how to experience the path, with sunshine or in the dark. It will, again, it will not change your path, but it will change your experience of it. There is this being that wants to come through again. Let's dig a little in there. For most of you, this is someone you know already. And this is also someone, that's also why it comes through like this. It's someone that feels very, they feel very balanced within their masculine and feminine. They embody this divine union. That's also why I cannot put male or female on it. Although it's just a spiritual being, which is, it doesn't have a gender. But it's a way for you to recognize whom this is. It's someone that you experience as being very balanced, embodying this divine union within. And they feel very light, very bright, very joyful, but also very stable. There is a very beautiful, and it's again this feminine, masculine, this lightness, and this stability that is there. They feel very rooted, or you experience them as being very rooted. And you feel very much, what is the, okay. They feel very trustworthy to you. And again, it's not that you are uncomfortable, because you feel very comfortable there, but it's also very highlighted that when you are in interaction with that being, or the way you perceive that being is, it's just this very high vibe that is there. And it's very different than your overall surroundings. And the overall people that you are in contact with also. You are in contact with. It's just something that jumps out there, which feels very high vibe. So just something there to recognize them. Hmm. And for okay. There is this link with the ship without words, but if you spend some time there with this being, there is a lot of information for you there. There is a lot more that this being can offer you, but it's up to you how much time you spend there. Hmm. Interesting. Very interesting. So it's up to you how much time you spend there. Again, your free will to choose. And it's also about, because your path, again, your path stays the same. You are still going in the same direction. But the choices that you make on the way will change your perception of that journey completely. So lowering your defense will let the sun shine through. Staying a little longer or as long as you want with this being will also, it's like the rest of the path from that cabin to the beach is now it's that's beautiful. It's now filled with um, how can I describe this? It's like you are walking through a museum, an art museum, but not with paintings. It's just like being in a forest and seeing so much around you. You are still walking on the path. It's not that you are going off the path, you are still walking on the path, but there is so much to see on the road, and it makes you smile, it makes you happy, it makes you enjoy the steps that you take. It becomes a happy journey, it becomes a joyful journey instead of this journey that is neutral. So it's all coming back to, what do you choose? How do you use your free will to choose? And it's by the choices that you make that your journey will be perceived. Mm. And this is for some, it's not for all. But this being also, there is an opportunity for exploring your gifts, exploring your talents, deepening in there. There is an opportunity for it. That's also very interesting because the cabin, if I go into the cabin, in the beginning it was just a small cabin, a small wood cabin with this one table, and there was the fire where the being stands, and then you come in the door into the door. And the more I spend time in that cabin, the bigger it gets, the more spaces I see. There is a big library, there is so much to discover in that cabin also. Hmm. It's what I hear now is it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And it's about enjoying every step of the journey as much as possible. And this, yeah, it's true. We have our free will, and it's by the choices that we make. Our path stays the same in this situation, because it's not always like that, but it's just how we perceive it all, how we experience it. Do we experience it as a dark, dense forest, or can we see it as this space that is filled with unexpected, joyful experiences without having to be somewhere because we are going there anyway. And this we can choose. We can use our free will to choose how we perceive everything. And what we do with the opportunities that are been given to us. Again, this you can choose how much time you spend in the cabin. You can step away, like the first vision showed. You just went in. There were no words, no conversation, just you looked into the pot, you saw the ship, and you went directly to the ship. But there is so much to explore there. Which will change your journey completely. And the main thing, again, this sunshine that pierces through, which was already with dropping defense. And then after the cabin, it just, there is so much color. That's the first thing that really catches my attention. So much color, and there is a lot of movement. But positive movement. There is a lot of life. There are a lot of beings. There are butterflies. There are fairies. There are things to see. It's a whole world on its own. Very colorful world. And before it was just dark forest. What else is here? So this being, there is an opportunity to learn, to expand your knowledge, to gain wisdom, to practice and to discover your own gifts. That's enough for now, I hear. Okay. What else is here? There is something more about the treasure that is there. This one. As I see it now, because the scenery completely changed. And I'm still in the forest, although I can see the beach and I can see the ship. where you are going, but I'm still in the forest, and I see now on your road, you see already pieces of gold. There are gems on the road in the forest already, and they were not there before. So all of this is just giving you an opportunity to make small changes, or to be conscious of the choices that you make according to your perception, according to your attitude, according to your defense, according to your choices of spending time with certain people. And it's just giving you this message of the experience of your journey will change completely by the choices that you make. Again, the path is the same, but the experience is completely different. Stuck in the mud. And I feel this is referring um, to where you are now. But that's interesting because I do feel, okay, because I said it feels important that you move. And it still does. It's important that you move and that you take step by step. But where you are now, and also with now after the changing of the scenery, it's this where you are now, exactly where you are now. Just stop, be still, reflect where you are, accept where you are, come to a place of acceptance. Accept that maybe you are stuck in the mud. That is your experience, because we are never stuck in the mud, but it's, by which I mean we have always a choice. We have always a possibility. Okay, I'm not gonna go there. Thing is, where you are now, be still, reflect, accept where you are, and observe. Look around you. First, the acceptance. That's a very, very important point. The acceptance. I accept where I am. It also opens up something. It takes you out of resistance. It also takes you out of boundary or out of defense. Just, I accept where I am. I accept where I am, and from there observe. Observe your surroundings and choose. Choose from that point what is the lightest direction to go in. Don't have to look very far. Just what is the lightest point where you can go from where you are. And if it's not something that you can physically do, if it's not a physical step that you can take, it's a step that you can take within your consciousness. But take just one step that is more light than where you are now. And from that point, the next step will be shown. If it's not been shown, you do the same. Stop, be still, reflect. What is the lightest point, the lightest direction in which I can go from here? And take with you that at all times you have the free will to choose. Beautiful. Just beautiful. I will come back to this. At all times you have the free will to choose how you perceive everything and what you do with opportunities that are been given to you. You have that free will. But the main thing is our choice of perception, and this changes everything. A path can still be tough and challenging, but if we change our perception, it looks completely different. The same path looks completely different by our choice of perception. And this is just to put it all together now. This is where you are now. This is where you are now, stuck in the mud, which is your perception of it. And this is the ship. This is where you are going. Actually not. It is the ship and it is your whole journey. It can be your whole journey. It is your ship for sure. And it can be your whole journey depending on what you choose. Depending on your choices of perception. Again, it will be the ship for sure. You're going to end up there. You're going to find the treasure within and your tribe. Once you realize you are the treasure, you are the lotus flower, you are the pearl in the lotus flower. But if you change, if you make some different choices from out of this point, then your whole way to the ship can be the field of dreams. It's just up to you. It's just up to you to choose. Okay, my beautiful, beautiful pile one. This is what I have for you. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope it was helpful. And I'm sending lots of love, lots of light, lots of peace and blessings for each and every one. Hello, beautiful souls, divine beings. Welcome in this lovely space with me. Whomever chose pile 2, I have a message for you. And today's reading, I had planned a completely different reading. And I wanted to go into the spirits of the trees, but Spirit had something completely different in mind. So I got very strong visions, and I felt I had to put the spirits of the trees aside for now, and I have to go with this. So at this moment I also don't know the title, but you will know by now. But I'm just gonna see, like I did in pile 1, where this is gonna go. So pile 2, the vision I have for you is you are in a city, and it's a big city, and it feels very overwhelming. But then there is a lot of big buildings, there is streets, there are cars, but then when I look around, it's like nothing is moving, and I actually don't see. I do see people, but it's like they are standing still. But still there is this feeling of everything is very overwhelming. And then I'm being pulled to the right, and there is a stairs that is going up. So you are walking, I'm walking on the, which is you. You are walking on the stairs, and it's high up. And at a certain point you arrive at a place that feels very peaceful. It's like a very big garden, and there are beautiful trees. There is a lake. There are also ducks. The spirit of duck is here. Duck, not dog, duck. There are ducks in the water, It's a very peaceful place. And then there is another stairs, or there is another stair, and you go up that stair, and it leads to a temple. And you arrive at the temple and you go inside, and inside the temple there are people sitting, and most of them, they look like monks. They are meditating. It's very silent, it's very peaceful in there. It's a big temple. And you walk to the end of the head of the temple, and there is a throne, and on the throne there is a woman, a very old woman, very old by appearance, but she doesn't feel old at all. She does feel very wise. It's a small woman, but she feels very big also. So her spirit is very strong, very wise, it's a great spirit. And she gives you something, and you take it in your left hand, and it's a bone. It's an old bone. And you look at the bone, and there is something written on the bone. And it says, "Go back to your roots. The answer will be found in your roots." And there the vision stops. So also for you, there is a lot in here in this vision. There is where you are now. You are in a place that feels very overwhelming. And it feels overwhelming, but it also feels like an illusion, because if I tune in, if I focus in on the details, nothing is moving, nothing is happening, but it feels very overwhelming. So you are in a place or in a state that feels very overwhelming, and where you don't have space to be you. You don't have space to be you, and you also feel alone in a sense. You feel alone and very disconnected from the world that you are in this moment. But there is something, your intuition is coming through also very strong here, because when I try to tune in on the city, the details of the city, I'm constantly being pulled to these stairs. So your intuition is pulling you to a certain place. This can be inward, this can be outward, but your intuition is pulling you to a certain place. And this place will lead you to, to a very peaceful environment. And the spirit of duck, I don't see yet any animals, any other animals, but the duck is coming through very strong. And the duck, spirit of duck, they bring a message of um, happiness. They bring a message of good luck. They bring a message of emotional stability and a sense of protection, and protection overall. There is also a sense of royalty, but this is a specific kind of duck that is also there. It's not the only kind that is there, but this one is also there. So there is this, your intuition is pulling you to a certain place where you have the space to be. It feels very peaceful there. It feels very natural. It's more high. You are above the city in that place. And it's a place where you have the possibility to allow your emotions to be, so they come to a stable state. There is water also, and it's very calm. It's a little lake. There is a lot of grass around. It's very green, very fertile. The trees, it looks very healthy. And your emotions are very much in balance there. And this feels very different than where you are than how you feel in the city, in the environment that you are in this moment. So your intuition is pulling you to a place that is healthy for your emotions, to find balance within your emotional state, within your emotional body. And from there, from that place where your emotions are in balance, you will see another stair. From there, you will see another way to go, which is even more high. And this then leads to a temple, which is, it's a temple, and it also feels very sacred. It feels very protected. It feels very wide, very big, but wide in the sense of it's like you have space to be you. Also in the garden, but the temple is even more space to be you. And then there in this temple there is this woman, this old wisdom, this old divine feminine energy that is offering you something. And she offers you an answer. She offers you a clue in where you are with the words, with the bone that she gives you. The bone is also very symbolic for go back to your roots, go back in time, go um, dig up the bones I hear, and then the message that is there, the answer will be found in your roots. Go back to your roots. So, to put all this together, you are in a situation now where it feels unhealthy. You feel disconnected, you feel alone. And it's important now to listen to your intuition, because your intuition is guiding you somewhere, within or without. It's guiding you to somewhere where you have the space to allow yourself to be and to find a stability within your emotions, within your emotional state. And from that stability in your emotional state, you will see a different way to go, or a new way to go, which will lead you to an even more expansive space to be you. And then the message that this woman gives you, it feels like there is something within you that is a question mark. And it feels like this is an answer to your question mark, to look for the answer that is up until now a question mark, to look into your roots. But this is way back, it's way back. It's very old, it's very ancient. Let's see what is there in, what is this? What is there in your roots? What is she guiding you to? What I do feel in here is, although I go directly in there, but I do feel um, the main thing or the first thing you should do now is listen to your intuition to move to that place that offers you a healthy space to express your emotions and to find stability within your emotions. Because where you are now in this overwhelming place or in this overwhelming state, again, this can be within or without, but where you are now, in the state that you are now, it's not the best environment to go explore what is there in your roots. It's like you have to take this path the way it's been shown here. First, follow your intuition to this peaceful garden. And then from there, when your emotions are stable, you can go more high in this even more expansive state. And then from that more expansive state, you can go look back from out of this safe, expansive environment. You can look back into your roots with the right perspective. Because if you would go dig now from this place, this overwhelming place, into your roots, you will not get the same insights that you will get when you are in this temple place, in this safe, balanced, expansive state place. It's from there that you can have the bird's eye vision. And where you are now, you are too close on it to see. Maybe you can find what it is there in your roots, but the growth from it, the insight from it, will not be as big as when you walk like the vision shows. First, follow intuition, bring balance in the emotions, from there go more high, and from there expand, and from there look back into what is this thing in my roots that is asking for me to look at. Adversity comes through. Adversity, regret. One more here. Discipline. And freedom. Yeah, it feels like that. Fear is also here. It just doesn't feel like the right environment where you are. Again, as we can be within, can be without. It just doesn't feel like the right environment. It doesn't feel like a safe space. It's not a safe, um, not in the sense that it's dangerous, but it doesn't feel um, like you are in the right place now to go dig. It's important to first bring balance within your feelings. But then why is she pointing me directly there? Hmm. It's just for you to know. Just for you to know. Um, okay, okay. So what I get now is that you feel you have no idea where to go. You have no idea what to do first. And you probably got um, some nudges already that it's important to heal something or to look at something. But you are in this, it just feels very uncomfortable where you are now. And it feels very important for you to show you how to go there. What is the first step to take from here? And the first step to take from here is to follow your intuition that is guiding you to a peaceful state, to a peaceful garden, a place within or without where you are free to feel. It's important to first create that space for yourself. And from there, go look into what is asking for your attention in your roots, what is asking for healing there. That's why it comes through like that. Because again, you probably got already that nudge, like I have to do something there, something is asking my attention, but it feels it feels uncomfortable. It feels like going against the flow. And it is also. It is also. It's like you are here and you want to dig here, but spirit is guiding you to go like that instead of like this. And even though the distance may seem shorter, if you would go now from where you are now here, you will take a lot more time to actually clear that out than if you would go like this to here. It's just, it's not the right environment within or without where you are now to go there. You need to take this road to find the right perspective to look at this. And it's also when you go now from where you are now into here, it feels very much of a struggle also. While if you would just follow now your intuition, it's very, this peaceful garden is very near. So there might be a part in you that thinks like, yeah, or that feels like, or thinks, it's the mind that feels like I want to solve that so I can go on. But this it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. And the reason why you say, I want to solve this now so I can go on, is also because you are looking for freedom. You are looking for peace. You are looking for salvation, for healing. But this, following your intuition into the peaceful garden, is a lot more healing than trying to go there now. And it's a lot more near, because again the distance may be short, but there is so much resistance in there now that it's gonna take a lot of time and a lot of energy, and it doesn't feel like you have that energy in this moment. So it's just about following your intuition into this peaceful garden, and from there find that higher perspective so you can look into here, which it flows easy. This is just, there is, it's not right. It doesn't feel right. Even though from looked at it from the human perspective, it's the logical thing to do because it's the most near to you, but it's not. Follow your intuition. Follow the guidance from your higher self, which has the view, the complete overview, and sees all the obstacles that are there, because it feels like that there is too much obstacles now. It's important to first find your peace, emotional stability, and from there up to the temple highest perspective, so you can look at this with the right perspective. And it will be so much more easy to heal that part from the right perspective. And it will be so much smaller than it is now, because from the point where you are now, it's a big mountain, but when you come from there, it's just a little rock. There is something here about the stairs, where your intuition is pulling you, because I also feel for some it's difficult to really feel where your intuition is guiding you. So I'm gonna try to find some clarification in there. I do feel for most of you this is a relocation. Doesn't have to be big, but it's literally also an external place that is different than where you are now. But it's not for all. It's also possible to do this within. But for most of you, it feels like your intuition is pulling you to go somewhere. A short trip, or doesn't have to be a big thing, but just somewhere peaceful. Certain flowers that are um, certain flowers that you feel very attracted to might be a sign for you to go in that direction. Or something shows up on a in a magazine, or in a on the street, or a commercial, or something shows up for you, which has certain flowers in it, and it's connected to a place. And when you feel into the place, it will feel like, when you just imagine going there, it feels like you are in a cave, in a warm, cozy, nasty cave. So that can also be a significator for you to to hear your intuition more clearly. So the flowers, this nasty warm feeling, and this is just by imagining it or by seeing it again, like on a billboard, or in a magazine, or someone tells you something and you get this feeling of this nasty protected place, cozy. It feels cozy. And if it's not about a place to go to externally, it's about creating a cozy nest for yourself wherever you are. Creating a cozy, warm nest for yourself. Make yourself some tea, a hot bath. This create an environment for yourself where you can bloom. Hmm. This is not for all, because for most of you, I really feel it's not a moment to pull yourself out of your comfort zone, but in a sense, it's also pulling yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone, because where you are now, in this overwhelming place and state, I don't feel you in a good state with yourself. I feel you. What is the word for that? Um, like there is a lot on your shoulders. There is a lot of weight on your shoulders. And from out of that state, I wouldn't recommend to put yourself in situations to pull you out of your comfort zone. But there is something in there to pull you out of your comfort zone, because you, if you are in a state like that, you don't you don't feel like doing something new. It's not for all, this one, but still. Um, there it is a little bit pulling yourself out of your comfort zone, but it's pulling yourself out of your comfort zone in the sense of getting out of your daily routine, getting out of your daily environment, and just go somewhere. But it's important that that place that you would go to, that it feels warm and cozy in your imagination before you go there. So it's a little bit out of your comfort zone, because you have to get yourself out of your the daily routine that you are in now. So try to take that step. And again, it's so different. It's really not, it's not a long way to walk where you, or a long way to go before you can experience the peace. That's the main thing. That's um, the first important thing for you. Come to a place where you can find stability in your emotions, where it feels peaceful, where you can just feel I can be. It's not a long way to go. It's just following that nudge from your intuition and go there. And from there it will get clear. From there you can look upon what is nudging you to look into or to face. But first the peace. First the peace. But okay, so for if it's difficult for you in this moment to hear your intuition, significators can be something with flowers, and something that feels very nesty, very cozy, very comfortable. And it might trigger you a little bit out of your comfort zone, but not in a scary way. It's not the moment to take big risks or anything. It's just about getting out of your routine, and the environment that you are in this moment. And the music. Music can also be a significator to, maybe you see something again in a brochure or in a magazine or on a billboard, or somebody says something to you, and you th- there is music that catches your attention, music that gives you a good feeling, a peaceful feeling, just music that catches your attention. This can also be a significator to amplify that your intuition is speaking to you to go to a certain place. Can be that you are somewhere, what I've been shown now, but what I've been shown now is someone it's a restaurant, and someone is eating. Hmm. You are eating alone also. So again, there is this sense of loneliness that is hanging here. And I have to put this in between. Whenever we feel alone, it means we are disconnected. Whenever we remember what we are, when we connect to God, Source, Spirit, the connection that is always there, when we remember that connection, the feeling of loneliness fades. We cannot be in connection with God, Source, Spirit, and feel alone in the same moment. It's impossible. So when you feel alone, it's an invitation to connect again. But back to the vision. You are in a restaurant and you are eating, and a certain song starts to play. And it catches your attention because you are focused on your food, or you are lost in your thought actually, but you are just in your bubble eating, and there is certain music that catches your attention, and you get out of your bubble because of the music. And then, because you get out of the bubble because of the music, you pick up on a certain conversation. And in that certain conversation, somebody speaks about a certain place. Something like that. So, flowers, nasty, cozy, warm feeling, music, and it might feel a little bit uncomfortable to get you out of your daily routine. Hmm. This is for when it's difficult for you to don't hear your intuition. Okay. Um, I'm being guided to pull one of these and one of these. It doesn't feel like I have to go because the garden is there and I'm feeling into the garden. And the temple is there and I'm feeling into the temple. But I'm always been pulled back to the beginning of the stairs. The beginning of the stairs to the garden. And this is your main focus now, to go there. And then from there again, stability in your emotion, having this, coming to this expansive place from where you have the right perspective to look upon what is asking for healing, what is there in your roots that is asking for healing. Okay. For some, the place to go to is connected to your roots. It's connected to where you grew up as a kid. Not for all, but for some. Go back to your roots. Your hometown, or where you were born, where you grew up. Or some place where you feel very much at home. There is a lot of clarity that wants to come through for you. There is a lot of clarity that wants to come through for you. And it's just about coming to this peaceful place, within or without. Coming to this peaceful place, and from there, a lot of clarity. It's like the clarity is showering over you. It's offering you, it's offering you what you are seeking for in this moment, and it's offering you, once you are in this emotional stable place, again, this going from there up to the temple and going with that expansive higher perspective back to your roots. It's like you have um, this big flashlight that is coming with you to clearly, to fast and clearly see what needs to be seen. And again, going back, like where you are now and your roots, which are in our logic mind the most near, you are not able to see this. When you do this, you have the perspective of the bird with the super flashlight that is just shining on this and makes you, allows you to see very easy what you need to see. And the fact that your emotions are in balance, will allow you to work through it in a very easy way. Mm. You might meet someone also in this place, which not for all. But someone might show up in this peaceful place. And this is someone, they are they are like vibrating in the same energy, the same frequency as this peaceful garden that is there. So it's someone that feels very peaceful. But it's not for all. And it also doesn't feel like something to focus on. It's just something that wants to come through, that in this garden for some, there is someone in that garden that is um, that is there to meet you. But again, it doesn't feel like there has to be too much focus on there because it's really about you. But it does come through. And there is just with this person, there is a very, again, the same vibration as this garden. It's this peaceful, comfortable, um, pleasant conversations, pleasant presence. Hmm. It's very peaceful, very peaceful. Hmm. Okay, one more here, and then I'm gonna leave you with this. Hmm. I also feel in here there is this, because it comes through now with this person also, but it's not only related to the person, but where you are now, it's very difficult for you to experience joy. And when you are arriving in that place, in the peaceful garden, your joy will come back. It's not that your joy ever was away, but you it's because there is the space to just be, that you will also reconnect with the joy that is within you. There will be space to enjoy, to be in joy. And also with this other person, it feels very peaceful. It's not exciting, it's very peaceful. But there is also joy, and there is this joyful laughter, there is this joyful presence. Again, not exciting extreme, just your heart smiles, and your heart has space to smile also. And it's also a message for wherever you are now. Allow yourself to smile, even if it's just a little. Allow yourself to smile. You are moving into a very peaceful place. Mm. And where you are now, you feel constricted. This overwhelm is also constriction. You feel limited. You feel enslaved, I hear, but there is something else here. You feel constricted, limited. Um, it's not a healthy environment to be in. And again, if it's not possible for you to go somewhere else, it's about creating this space within, creating a safe environment within yourself and within your home, where you can just be and where you can allow yourself to be. But for most of you, it's somewhere different externally. Constricted, restricted, that's the word that I was looking for. You feel restricted, you feel limited. Hmm. Archangel Uriel is coming through here. That is beautiful. It's very beautiful. It's this, it feels like, although she looks very different than the woman that I saw in the temple, but this card, it brings me back to the temple. It's this, it comes through also just to show you again the steps where you are now. Follow your intuition. Follow your intuition into that peaceful place. And from that peaceful place, you go into the temple, this expansive place. And this is what this is the energy that this card carries. It's within there, within that temple. And then this will be your experience when you are in the temple, when you went from the garden into the temple, and then from there you can look down into your roots, what is there to see, with this super flashlight and with the angels on your back or having your back. And it's gonna be an easy job from there. I don't say easy, easy, because it's still a root, it's still a trauma that is there in your roots, that's asking for you to face it. So it's not it's not a happy happy joy job to do, but it will be a lot more easy than trying to do it from where you are now. And still it feels light, all of this together. Just, it feels light to go now from where you are in this direction, and then looking down up on your roots, looking down into that bone that is there. Mm, that's also beautiful. What I get now is um, because the woman that is sitting there in the temple, she, what is the word for that? Exudes? Is it that? She exudes wisdom. And what I get now is, if you go, it's possible, no, from where you are now to do this, but again, it's going to be a very tricky road. A lot of resistance, a lot of difficulties. And if you take the road like this, When you then look back onto what is asking for your attention in your roots, you're going to find a gift in there which you will not find if you go there now. So there will be the road, and then you will have to face something that is asking for your attention, but by facing that you will also gain a gem. You will find something that is connected with your gifts, and you are not in the right state now to find that, to see that. The perspective from where you are now is not right to look at that. It's not right. It's just you are unable to see the gift in there. And the gift, it's connected to your own gifts also. It's just really important. First, what is most important now is your peace. So first go into the peaceful garden, and from there go up and look back. And it's the seventh chakra also. It's the crown. It's the highest perspective looked up on the chakras. It's the highest perspective that you can have. And where you are now, you are in your root. And from there you see a lot less than you can see from your crown. So don't follow your logical human mind that says it's right here, I can do it now. No, follow your intuition and go first to your peaceful garden. Find your peace, find your emotional stability, and your joy. Find your joy in there, and enjoy the way up, and from there look down. Okay, my beautiful, beautiful souls, this is what I have for you. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope it was helpful. And I'm sending lots of love, lots of light, lots of peace and blessings for each and every one. Hello, beautiful souls, divine beings. Welcome in this lovely space with me. Whomever chose pile 3, I have a message for you. And today's reading, I had planned another reading, but Spirit had something else in mind, so I'm going with this. Because the visions that I got, I wanted to do a reading about the spirit of the trees, and the visions that I got were something completely different. So I'm going with this. It has to come out. So pile 3, the vision I have for you is you are somewhere in a landscape, but very very fast. My attention, or your attention, is being pulled upwards, and I do see something of the surroundings. I see some mountains in the distance, but there is not too much attention on where you are now. So very fast there is this attention upwards, and the first thing that I see is an eagle. But there are clouds. It's like there is a misty cloud hanging over the sky, and through the misty cloud I can see the eagle. And then next to the eagle there is like a square that is open in the clouds. And then this stairway appears in front of you, or in front of me, which is you. This stairway appears, and you go up into this open square, and the stairway stops. And it stops just a little before this misty cloud that is there. And the eagle is there, sitting, waiting for you. And it's a big eagle. You step on the back of the eagle, and the eagle takes you on a flight. And it flies, to the right. And at a certain point, the eagle tilts a little and you look down to the floor, because before you are just looking into the surroundings, and then you look down to the floor because the eagle tilts, and you see something red, and it's sticking out in the environment, but you cannot see what it is. It looks like a very bright red color, pearl or something. It's like a circle, something red. But the eagle takes you also direction to the mountains, and it takes you like in a circle, and it brings you back to this point where the stairway is. And you get off the eagle, and then you get back into the elevator, but it's open. It's an elevator. It's being moved for you, but it's not closed. It's like a stairway, um, which moves by itself. And then you go higher, and then you arrive into this. It feels like a massive ballroom, completely in glass. And you get off the stairway and you look around, and there are a lot of people dancing, couple dancing, and it seems like it's a waltz something. This atmosphere is there. So you move um, through the dancing people, but the floor is also in glass. So you at first you slide over the floor because you feel a little uncomfortable, but at a certain point you feel like, okay, this is holding me. So you get a little bit more comfortable, and you are going straight to the point where you saw that red thing. It's just something is pulling you there, and it was on the ground, but you just go in that direction. And then at a certain point you look down and you see again this red circle that is there, that is sticking out in the whole environment by its color. It's very bright red. And you lay down on this glass floor and you look at the pearl, and you are staring at the pearl, and the pearl, it rises very fast. It rises and it touches the glass floor, and you are with your face on the glass floor, and the moment that it touches the glass floor, your face goes through the floor, and the pearl opens itself, and it's a red rose. So you are there laying with your head in the red rose, and it feels very comfortable. The smell is also very intense. It's really this red rose smell, very pure, very strong. And you are just laying with your head in this satin um, structure of the rose. And there the vision stops. So my beautiful pile tree, this is also an interesting one. So what I feel in here to start, when you are down, where you are now, you are in a place that feels very, it feels known. You are very comfortable where you are now. It doesn't feel like there is still a lot to discover. It feels like you know all the corners there. I'm also not being pulled anywhere there. So it feels like where you are now, it's known, it's comfortable, and you have done there what you need to do. I also feel you because directly I'm being pulled upwards, and the first thing that you see is the eagle. So you are in a very strong connection with spirit. Even though the messages might be foggy sometimes because there is this mist, you have a very strong connection with spirit, God, source, spirit, whatever you connect to, but the connection is strong. And also the invitation is directly there because the elevator comes, you go up, there is no resistance, you just effortlessly go to this first level. And then there in this first level, it's spirit is inviting you to discover together And also there is no resistance, because you just step on the eagle and you fly with spirit, and you allow spirit to take you wherever it wants to take you. Also when the eagle tilts, there is no resistance, there is no fear. You are just really nice in a co-creative flow with the eagle, which really represents spirit in here. And then you just allow the bird to take you, um, but also allow spirit to show you what you need to see. And then spirit brings you back, and then from there is a next level. And then this next level, it feels a little like this is where you are moving into now. It feels like you are going from the first level to the next level, because there it's this big glass ballroom, and the first steps that you take, they feel uncomfortable. You feel a little unsafe. So this feels like new territory. But also there, it's like you are looking at your surroundings, and I also see you smile at the people while they are dancing. There is interaction with the people. It also feels very um, harmonious. It feels balanced. It feels joyful, not in extreme, but just there is a nice um, balanced flow. Also the movement, the waltz, there is nothing that feels out of balance in there. And also in this new level, you are being guided by, even though the eagle is not there, it's like this unseen force is moving you to that point. And then there you go lay on the ground, and it's this. There you look again at the pearl, and then the rose comes up. And what I feel in here is that God, Source, Spirit, your guidance is guiding you somewhere where your perspective upon life will be even more expanded, because you are that first level is already it's already from a higher perspective. You are already above, you are already looking above, and it feels like you have also there discovered already. And then it just feels like spirit, God, Source, Spirit, your guidance is inviting you to go next level according to seeing certain this pearl, certain anomalies maybe from out of a different perspective. And it's this only when you are seeing it from the next level perspective that you understand what it actually is, and that you are capable of bathing in it. You are capable of actually feeling it because it comes through the glass floor. You are capable of feeling it, of experiencing it, of smelling it. But it's only possible from this next level. So all of this together, the big message that I really feel in here is that Spirit, God, Source, Spirit is guiding you to go next level, to see what you couldn't see before, or to see clearly what you couldn't see before. because you see it before, but you don't see what it actually is. And this next level will allow you to see what something actually is. It will allow you to see it, and it will allow you to really experience it and to enjoy it also, because the smell is also coming through very strong. And I feel the leaves on my skin. It's like this soft satin silk bed that you lay your head in, that you surrender into the rose. It's like the rose is just all over your face, and it's very comfortable. You are also laying down, which also feels like a surrendering, a pose of surrendering. So again, all together, your guidance, God, Source, Spirit, is guiding you next level to see and to experience something clearly for what it is. I do feel there is something here on the first level that wants to come through also. It's before the first level. It's about the clouds. How to at all times see clearly. When you are where you are now, there is something there about the clouds. Although it doesn't feel like it's an obstacle, because the stairway comes, you go on the stairway and it takes you through the clouds. But there is something in here that wants to come through. Hmm. What comes through here is always remind yourself that you are um, although you are a teacher, you are also a student. Always remind yourself that we are student and teacher in the same time. And this part of being a student feels related to at all times stay in a very humble place. Because if we forget the humbleness, if we forget that each and every situation that we encounter can always teach us something more. If we forget about that, if we put ourselves in the role of the teacher without being open to whatever more is there to learn, we might, our perspective might be clouded. Because when we are not open for the role of the student that should also always be there, we close down a certain we close down on certain opportunities to learn. But it doesn't feel like a big difference, a big issue or something. It's just something that has been given to you that spirit wants to bring through to be even more connected and to receive even more in whatever situation, and to see spirit very clearly. It's about the humbleness, the humble place. It's about the humble place, and it's about, hmm, okay. Also that, because I said it feels very known. It feels like you have discovered all the corners where you are now. But there is always more to discover. And Spirit is just coming through with an invitation of, at all times, stay very open. No matter where you are, um, you will rise up, but be fully present where you are. Don't um, don't go through life with this idea of I want to rise, I want to rise, I want to rise. Just accept where you are and be grateful for where you are and be open for all opportunities that are in each and every situation. Because even though your surroundings feel known and even though it feels like you have discovered all the corners, still there is more to see, always. And it's just an invitation, again, just an invitation from Spirit to, at all times, stay um, in that open, receptive state. And again, it's not like you are not doing this, it's just something that wants to come through, that you do with it what you want. You have your own free will to choose, but there is an invitation in there to just be even more open in every situation. And it also comes through because when I say it, I always feel this pull that is trying to take me up. And there I feel this that you probably at certain moments are not fully um, appreciating where you are, and you wanna grow, you wanna rise, which is a good thing, but it's also important to be fully where you are and to experience fully your surroundings where you are. And you will rise for sure, but don't try to get away from the place or the state where you are. Just be exactly where you are and be there, completely be there. And this will part the clouds. This will allow you to see Spirit at all times very clearly. But again, your connection with Spirit is very strong, but it will just help even more in the moments that it might be cloudy. Then it's about just being fully in yourself, in your body, and in the place, in the situation where you are. And don't try to escape from there. And this student vibe that is here, it also feels very, um, it feels very connected with the looking at everything with the eyes of wonder. Looking at everything like, even if it's known, to look at it like you see it for the first time. And then you will see even more. Okay. There is also something here about, because we are now above the clouds and spirit is taking you somewhere, and spirit is guiding you. Spirit is guiding you to see something because you didn't see the red pearl before. It's because the eagle tilts that you look down. So there is also this invitation in here to allow spirit to show you something. Because this pearl, it shows up now in this reading. So there is a meaning in there. And it's God, Source, Spirit is asking you to, in the connection that you have now, in the strength, the strong connection that you have now with your guidance, to in there ask if there is something that you need to see. Or without asking, just be aware of something that is an anomaly, something that jumps out, something that is different, something that jumps out of the environment. And on this first level, because the first time you will see this, it's very possible that something will catch your attention that you have no idea what it actually is, you have no idea what it actually means. And then from there will be an invitation to look at it from an even higher perspective. But Spirit wants to show you something. And for some, most of you, you didn't see it yet. That's also why it comes through in this reading, to be aware of something that catches your attention, but you don't know what it is. You don't know what it actually means. But it is of importance. Even it might be connected, but this is not for all. It might be connected with the color red, which is also connected to your root chakra. But this is not for all, but it's possible. It's just something that really jumps out. It doesn't belong in that surrounding. It doesn't belong there. Or it's just very different than the whole surrounding. Because the colors are very, it's green, but it's green and brown and it's kind of pale. I don't know if you say it like that. And then there is this one bright red pearl. So the rest is very earthy. It's also green, but it's not bright green. It's more this earthy colors. And then this bright red, it really jumps out. So Spirit really wants to show you something. And for most of you, you have not seen it before. Some of you have. But you have no idea. Maybe you put it aside also because it has no meaning. But it did catch your attention, and it caught your attention for a reason. For others, something will catch your attention that is of importance for you. But it's also important to then look at it from the next level. And it's on that next level that you will understand it and that it will also be of benefit to you. Because there you can really see, smell, feel, and experience it, which you cannot in the moment that it's been shown to you. So Spirit is guiding you somewhere, to a place, to certain people, and it's very natural. It's not something that you have to do effort for. It just happens very naturally. It's a very natural flow, but it is very guided, divinely guided. There is like something here on this first level that I can't grasp. What is this? Okay. Okay. Also here, what came through down comes back again. This, where you were in this known territory and it feels like I have discovered everything already here, I want to rise. And also here, there is this, because in between the eagle takes you like that and then it tilts to see the pearl and it takes you further, and there is something between, because there are mountains and there is something there that is pulling me, or something that I feel there is something there, but I couldn't grasp it. And then at a certain point I feel like the eagle is slowing down, and there I see an animal. I see an animal that is, it's a wolf. Wolf is showing up in between the mountains. And I feel the same here on this as in the first level. Wherever you are, even though if it's known, stay open. And also where you are now in your connection with spirit, stay open, because there is always more to see. There is always more to see. So this comes back to, don't try to escape where you are, but fully take everything with you from every level that you go through. Look at everything, see what you need to see, and also be aware of your intuition that is speaking to you, your guidance that is speaking to you, um, animal spirits that are speaking to you, your angels that are speaking to you, your guidance, whatever you connect to, because they are pulling you, and you might want to move too fast, which makes you miss certain things that are also of help for you. Again, there is nothing wrong with this drive of I want to grow, I want to rise, but just be fully where you are, in the level that you are. Be there fully. And for sure, when your guidance, animals, animal spirits, the angels, God, source, spirit, when you full, or your intuition, your gut feeling, when when you feel something is pulling you, listen to that. Because I missed it. I missed it at first. Even though I felt there is something, I missed it because I wanted to go up. And there is a message in there for you because there is more to see. There is a lot more to see. Because it's not only a wolf that is there now. Now I can also really look into the environment that is there, which is full of life. There are a lot of animals actually. And it's by just zooming in, slowing down where I am, slowing down where you are, and taking the time to zoom in and you don't have to lose time and search for it, but it's about when you feel this little pull to listen to that. Because I feel for most of you, you want to take shortcuts. And I understand that. I really understand that. And it's okay because you are going up anyway, but it's just about there is more to see and there is more to also going back to the student. There is more to learn. There is always more to learn. And it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And there are so many things to experience within that journey. And the landscape also completely changes because what I said in the beginning, it's this earthy colors and it feels a little pale. Only this red pearl is there. But then when I zoom in between the mountains where only the wolf showed up, there it's bright now. There is water, there is a waterfall, there are other animals, there are butterflies, there is a lot of life, there are flowers. So it's when I stop, when I slow down and take the time to look into where my intuition or where my guidance is nudging me, where it's pulling me. It's subtle, it's very subtle. It's also an invitation to be very aware of the subtle way in which your inner GPS communicates with you. It's an invitation for the subtle way in which your guidance communicates with you, and to listen to that, because there is a lot to see there. There is a lot to explore there. And there is a lot of growth, there is a lot of fertility in taking these opportunities or going into these opportunities. So yeah, really listen to these subtle nudges or these subtle pulls that are speaking to you. Go in there. Hmm, that's interesting. Because what I see now is that I can see the whole vision, but I can see it in its totality now. So I have now the vision of the mountains, where there is this whole oase and all this life and all the colors that are there now. And when I'm being pulled again to the rose that is there, but now with having zoomed in on that, there is a lot more flowers than just that one rose. So there is also a message in there too. The more you explore where you are, instead of trying to be somewhere in the future or somewhere else, it will allow you to also in the future experience even more of the goodness. You are going there anyway, and you are with your face in the rose. So you are in a very comfortable place. It's up to you. You have the choice. But again, there is just a lot more roses to smell, and a lot more space than only your face to lay in the roses, if you also take the time to explore where you are, instead of trying to be somewhere. So listen to these little nudges that are being given to you, because it will enhance your experience, and it will enrich. The enrichment is coming through here. It will enrich your experience of life in general. And you are very guided. You are really very guided by spirit, but it's up to you to be aware of the subtle communication that you have with your guidance. It's very unique for everyone, for each and every individual. But you feel it, because I feel the pull. But in the beginning, I go over it because I want to be somewhere. I want to rise. And I also think, or I think in the vision that I saw it with Pearl, but there is more to see. A lot more to see. Hmm. Okay, and then we go up, because also that spirit is guiding you to look at something from a next level perspective. This is the main message that is running through this reading. Spirit is inviting you to go to next level perspective, to see and experience something for real. But in this journey, where Spirit is guiding you, where God's or Spirit is guiding you, in this journey, it's just very important to be very aware of your intuition, to be very aware of these subtle nudges, the subtle communication that is there. And to be fully present wherever you are, in whatever moment. Be fully there. Be fully there and be fully aware. And then we go up. It's like you are upgrading. You are upgrading naturally, in a natural flow. It's like it's happening for you, but you do have choices in that upgrade. You do have choices in that process of upgrading. Choices to in which way you experience it, and to take from it everything you can take from it, to experience everything what is there to experience. That is your choice within that upgrade that is happening beyond your control. And then we go up, because there's something else. Yeah, it's just, it doesn't pull me, but I do feel on this first level, in all the corners now, there is something to explore there. So within the connection that you have now with spirit, there is also, stay the student, stay humble, and stay open to explore more of this connection that you have with God, source, spirit, your guidance. Because they want to explore with you, and they want to show you many things, many corners, many visions, many different views, many different worlds, if you choose to. Okay, but then we go up, and there is something, because the moment you arrive at this next level, there is this discomfort, and there is a message that wants to come through according to that. Because this feels a little bit like a tricky point. Okay, that's interesting. What is this? This is a, there is limitation coming through here. And the broken heart is also here. This color, and the door to romance is also here. It's like, why? And the colors, it's this red. So for some, this has to do, this pearl that is there. The pearl that is there, it has to do with a certain relationship. It has to do with something that or something that is painful, has been painful, but still is, because there is this, it feels tricky to now go to this next level. So I do feel for some this has to do with a relationship, or something that is near and dear to your heart, where you feel hurt. There is pain within your heart, and in there, spirit is inviting you to look at this situation from an even higher perspective than you are doing now. Because I do feel you seeing it or observing it already from a perspective that is of a higher um, of a higher point than just your human perspective. It is there, but spirit is inviting you to look even higher at that situation. And there it also feels like, if this is your situation, because it's not for all, this is not for all, but if this is your situation, it also feels like where you are, and the first level, it's the pearl stays this broken heart, but only when you are looking at it or able to perceive it from this next level is where you will be able to experience the rewards that come from that broken heart. Because in every situation where we feel that our heart is broken, there are also gifts in there. And it's from this next level that you can see the gifts, see, feel, experience the gifts in that situation that is painful, that broke your heart. And it's also, it's in this next level that it feels like complete healing, because once you step through, even though there is discomfort to go to that next level, might have to do with letting go of the attachment to something. But when you step through that, there is this state of complete healing also. Because the broken heart, I see then the pearl as being the broken heart, and there the broken heart transforms into this beautiful rose. And there is nothing painful, there is nothing nothing harmful in that place. You are in complete surrender, you are in softness, you are in in silk, in in this beautiful smell carried by this rose. So it feels like a state of complete healing. And if this is your situation, it also feels like you are very near to complete healing this situation, because the only thing that I feel in this vision where there is resistance is when you step out of the elevator in the second level. So it's that getting a little bit out of your comfort zone and moving in this new space, which is this ballroom. Yeah, I feel you already in a um, in a far level of healing according to this situation, but it does come through. So it's, if you are still carrying a strong broken heart, then this is just really spirit coming through with the invitation. Try to look at it from the highest possible perspective, because there is a gift in there for you. But for most of you, I don't feel this is really hurting you. I feel healing in here. Also with the door to romance, it's like this broken heart is changing, is transforming. The broken heart was the pearl, and then this door to romance is the rose that's been presented to you. So it's this process of healing the heart that was broken into new romance, into new love. Open up your heart space is also here. This has to do, I want to go a little bit deeper and then I'm going to leave you with this. But there is still something here. And what comes through now is it has to do with trust. This uncomfortable position that is there, this next level, it has to do with trust. Trusting that whatever happens, Spirit has your back. And if you look back on your other or on situations from the past, you can also see that Spirit at all times had your back. And there is an invitation in here to also do that here. Spirit has your back, surrender. And this surrender also came through already when I see the end of the vision. You are in complete surrender. And Spirit is inviting you to surrender. Wherever you are now, wherever you feel resistance, the moments that you feel resistance, surrender. Trust and surrender. Because you are very guided. And you are being guided into a place of complete healing. From something, for most of you, from something that was very hurtful, but that you are in the end phase of coming to complete healing according to this. So whatever is still there, surrender. Surrender to it. Allow Spirit to guide you. Get on the back of the eagle. Allow Spirit to take you wherever Spirit wants to take you. And while you do this, stay open for little nudges, little pulls, these subtle communication that is there. Listen to it and stay in a humble place, stay open, stay in a place of wonder and seeing things for the first time. Stay open for whatever Spirit wants to show you and wherever Spirit wants to take you, because there are gems in each and every situation that Spirit guides you in, that God, Source, Spirit, your guidance takes you. So surrender to the flow and also surrender into or surrender the resistance that might show up for you. Change. Okay, my beautiful, beautiful souls. This is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed the reading. And I'm sending lots of love, lots of light, lots of peace and blessings for each and every one.